Together, we just passed 100,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. That is just an insane number. So I thought it would just be appropriate final episode of my billionaire series. Let's get started. Okay guys, I have made an executive decision. If you have been following my billionaire series, you know that I always go with Starfruit because they make the most profitable wine in the game. But I just couldn't do it anymore. Replanting all of those Starfruit got to me. So I instead decided to go with ancient fruit on my Ginger Island farm. Yeah, I know that ancient fruit are less profitable and I have to make more wine, but the timing fits better and I don't have to replant them ever again. Now every 7 days I can just collect the ancient fruits and then turn them all into wine. The problem with Starfruit was that they took longer than 7 days to grow and it really messed up the timing on my farm. So yeah, my entire Ginger Island farm is now dedicated to ancient fruit only. It's kind of great, I won't lie. I'm also growing some ancient fruit on my farm during spring, summer, and fall, with a Junima hut here to collect them. To be honest, if I played on any other farm layout, this would have been so much easier. But unfortunately, I picked the beach farm. I'm planting some starfruit in my greenhouse for only one reason: to create iridium quality wine. Since aging wine takes so long, a greenhouse with starfruit in them is good enough to keep my casks full. I saw a couple of comments asking why I don't use deluxe retaining soil in the greenhouse, and that is because I would rather use hybrid speed grow to greatly reduce the growing time. I think it's more than worth it since I only have one sprinkler on a growable spot. As always, I am producing about 300 fairy rose honey on my Ginger Island farm every 4 days. And I will admit that you could fit more on your Ginger Island farm if you did it properly. But yeah, this honey setup makes a huge portion of my gold, and I have been way too lazy to fix it up. I would recommend that everyone should get a fairy rose honey setup like this. I decided to move my lava eel fish ponds over here because they just take up less space on my farm like this. And to be honest, they don't really make much money at all. I just keep them because I have already committed to making aged lava eel roe now. Now for the wine. Like always, I have a bunch of deluxe sheds all dedicated to kegs to turn my ancient fruit, starfruit, and pineapples into wine. Since I have more crops now that I have moved over to ancient fruit instead of starfruit, I need more kegs. So I have 13 deluxe sheds all dedicated to kegs. Now I know that seems excessive, but you will soon see why I have so many. Pineapples, yeah, you probably guessed it. I need all of those kegs for my mountain of pineapples. I have many sheds all dedicated to pineapples. Picking the beach farm has literally crippled this challenge since I can barely plant any crops on my farm. So the only way to remedy this is to build a bunch of sheds, all filled up with garden pots and deluxe retaining soil. Crops planted with deluxe retaining soil will only need to be watered once and then never again. So setting up a couple sheds like this is just a game changer. Back in the first few episodes of my billionaire series, I thought it would be a good idea to make some preservation bins because they are much easier to make than kegs, but they are not nearly as good as increasing the value of my crops. I tried to only use my 4 preservation bin sheds for pineapples, and only if all my kegs are full. These did actually contribute quite a bit in the end, so at least it was not for nothing. I decided to build 7 deluxe barns and fill them all up with goats. Goats produce goat milk, and you can turn goat milk into cheese using cheese presses. The great thing about goats is that order grabbers will do most of the work for me. I only have to come check on my goats once a week to collect the milk. Then I turn all of the large milk into cheese using this dedicated cheese press shed. Turning milk into cheese only takes 2 in-game hours, which is awesome when you are producing tons of the stuff. This is very important. I have dedicated an entire basement to goat cheese. The thing about goat cheese is that it only takes 7 days to age from gold to iridium quality, so it's a pretty effective use of one of my basements. Naturally, I have 4 barns dedicated to producing truffles with my pigs. But I think I am not getting the full value from these pigs because I don't check on them every day. I do this thing sometimes where I sleep 7 days in a row quite often, and that really hurts the profitability of my pigs. Alright, now onto the second biggest money maker on my entire farm, Crystalariums producing diamonds. Guys, Crystalariums are just way too good. And with statues of endless fortune and a bunch of solar panels, these things are just way too easy to craft. So I have about 200 Crystalariums in 4 cabins. I also have 5 sheds with 137 Crystalariums as well. And these produce diamonds every 5 days. So with some spicy eel and triple shot espresso, I can collect all of those diamonds relatively quickly since there is no animation to place anything back into the Crystalarium. And finally, my basement with casks aging Starfruit wine. Since I have basements, I might as well use them on the most profitable crop in the game, Starfruit. And I did decide to use this basement layout to maximize the amount of wine I can age in each basement. When I started this challenge, I had the impression that aged wine would be a huge contributor to my overall gold making. But the truth is, aging wine just takes way too long. I find it much more efficient to just sell the wine as it is without aging it. But I had to use these anyway since I already spent so much time setting these up. After 9 in-game years, let's sell all of this stuff and see how much money we have managed to make. I have so many things to sell that actually placing everything into the shipping bin is actually a really tedious chore, but it is worth it. After selling all of those things, I have made 600 million gold, meaning my total earned gold is almost 1.2 billion gold. We actually did it, guys! Making 600 million gold within 9 years means that I was making about 16 million gold per season, and that is 66 million gold per year. To be honest, I think min-maxers managed to make 19 million gold within their first year. That means that what I'm doing here is probably not very efficient, and I will blame it all on this silly beach farm. And that is it for this video, and that is it for the Billionaire series. And once again, thank you guys so much for your support. You are pretty awesome, not gonna lie. But for now, I will see you in the next video.